Welcome to the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison. I'm no longer a reverend. The calling went off my life and I admitted it and I threw the towel in. It might be a good idea for some of you other ministers to think about if it's something that you're confronted with. If you haven't already, subscribe, like and share. Leave a comment, guys, for us, and let's just remind ourselves that we don't want any of these situations where there's mummy boys. I'm sick of you calling me mummy's boy. And look, usually the mother will say nothing, or she'll hound the man to get rid of her, or covert emotional incest it's called. It's a real horrible thing. It's a pandemic through the society today, but don't forget all the videos we've got on the channel. We've got now over 323. Let's get into it, guys.
So I contacted Daniel and said, when are we going to Skype? And he's just come back and said 4 o'clock. Current time in London is 2:59. So in an hour, he is either going to turn himself into a Russian flute player and Skype with me, or he's going to have problems with his camera, or there's going to be a number of excuses. So I shall fill you in when that happens. In other news, while I've been trawling for catfish, I got talking to someone on one of the dating sites, and I had my first date in about 10 years. This morning we went out.
This is what these Sheilas do. They've got 4 or 5 guys on the run. They've resolved nothing in their lives or their hearts. They're just getting deeper and deeper into psychological trauma and issues. But they just keep going. They just keep wrecking themselves. And it really is the downfall of our society today.
For coffee, and it was very pleasant, and he asked if he could see me again, and I said yes. So don't know what will happen, but at least I've get my feet back in the water. Is that what you say? Yeah.
It's pretty sad, isn't it, guys, when you think about it? The loneliness out there, and it's usually a consequence of lack of resolve. The longer you stay with these people, the more you see. It's a bit sad. I mean, you've got children interfering, family members interfering. You've got people that, you know, if you stay around long enough, you find that there's stuff that they just don't want to fix. And they keep turning up. They come in, you know, inebriated or under medicated or on weed. And you're trying to build something with them and you can't. You ring them up and they're not present in terms of their mentality because they're on something. Guys, it is really, really dangerous out there at the moment, and people aren't taking anything seriously anymore in terms of being able to be healthy, be absolutely real and healthy. Our scripture today, guys, is the godly hates lies, and the wicked cause shame and disgrace. And disgrace isn't shame. Well, nobody wants to experience shame. It's a horrible feeling that pulls you down into depression, actually. And disgrace is when you've been shown grace and mercy and tolerance and everything, but it's like dismounting from a horse. The horse is the grace, and you've disgraced yourself from the horse. You're not allowed to ride that horse anymore. You've just pushed it all too far. That's what disgrace means. You've disgraced yourself. You've dismounted from the goodness and the kindness through not resolving something or this kind of thing. And it usually does come through a lie, people lying to themselves that everything's all right when it's not. This is from Proverbs 13 verse 5. The godly hate lies and the wicked cause shame and disgrace. And I've seen this so many times, guys. Yeah, shame and disgrace. Don't put yourself in that situation.
As an over 50 widow on dating sites, here are my top 5 reasons that I would not date you or meet you in the first place. Number 1, you spend hours like texting every day. I mean, who has time for that? I have a life, I have a job. You know, if you want to text good morning or whatever, that's one thing. But, you know, this incessant texting all the time, I just can't do it.
Guys, you've got to realize she's right. If you haven't got a purpose and this Sheila's becoming the centre of your attention, that's not attractive. They don't like that. Find something else.
As an over 50 widow on dating sites, here are my top 5 reasons that I would not date you or meet you in the first place. Number 1, You spend hours like texting every day. I mean, who has time for that? I have a life, I have a job. You know, if you want to text good morning or whatever, that's one thing. But, you know, this incessant texting all the time, I just can't do it. Number 2, you complain about your child support, or you don't spend time with your children or go to your children's sporting events, things like that. If you're a dad, it's important to me that you're a good dad. That's sexy to me. If you're not, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Number 3.
She sounds like she's trouble. This is something that she's probably done to her own kids. I think she might be projecting and learning from her own mistakes and now projecting that onto the men. For the most part, most men are good fathers unless they're on alcohol or drugs or medicated or something, or just selfish. You've got to understand we live in a very dysfunctional society today. A lot of these mothers won't let the father have access to the children. There's all different reasons, but the godly hate lies, and the wicked cause shame and disgrace. So she's saying it's a shame and a disgrace for men that don't follow up with their children.
As an over 50 widow, I'm just like texting every day. I mean, who has to do it?
Right.
Number 2, you can spend time with your children or go to your children's sporting events, things like that. If you're a dad, it's important to me that you're a good dad. That's
it's really
sexy
none
to me.
of her business, guys. Keep her out of your business with your children.
Number 3, hey, beautiful. I don't like that. When I have not met you, that's your first communication to me. Do you say that to all the girls? I'm sure you do. Like, call me by my name or some other greeting. Yeah, hey, beautiful. A lot of guys do that.
There's a lot of insight into that there, guys, because Sheilas by nature, they're evil, nasty things, you know, once you get to know them, and they don't like all that kind of stuff. I think the best way to address somebody is by their name. It does do something, it does lift somebody when you call them by their name, but don't call an old woman, you know, she's an old bag. Don't call her beautiful when she's not. She knows she's an old woman and time's running out for her. She don't want to hear all that. She just wants to get down to the meat and potatoes.
Number 4, not looking for anything serious. Listen, we women, we know what that means.
Guys, I just want to say I think she's projecting again. She probably has kicked dozens and dozens of guys to the curb, probably taken them to bed and just gone nut. And I'd say she would have done that in a younger life. Most of them do, and then they get old and they go, oh no, I got to try and find someone I can hang on to. They get tired of being bounced. But then you try and have a sensible, decent relationship with a lot of these older women, and then all their troubles come out, their physical ailments, their medications, the way in which they've damaged themselves physically and their habits, and you watch them, you know, destroying themselves. It's a mess, guys, once you get to this age. And she's dolled herself up pretty well, I'd say. You know, she's dolled herself up. But she's just an old woman, and she's doing her best with what she's got. But she's in good nick compared to some of them. You get the smokers and the addicts, and they smoke cigarettes and weed, and they're medicated, and they drink, and oh mate, she's not a bad catch. So, what'd she just say then? Let's go back over that again. Here we go.
Yes. Listen, we women, we know what that means.
Yeah, when you say you don't want a full-on relationship. Well, I've tried that with these old women, and they don't seem to be able to do it. They're too damaged. You know, yeah, okay, let's move on.
And my number 1, so number 5, but my number 1 indicator on whether I'm going to go on a second date with you is that you don't pick up the check. If we're meeting for a drink and...
No, don't pay on the first or second date, guys. You don't know this person. She don't deserve your money. You don't have to prove anything to her. You're the prize if you've got your life together and that. Let them pay for themselves and you pay for yourself and move on, man. Otherwise, it's just a free meal. And we're not out just delivering 3 meals, are we? Our scripture, guys, let's not forget that the godly or good people hate lies. And these liars cause shame and disgrace, but they bring shame and disgrace on themselves. A lot of these people are lying to themselves. Don't be one of those. Keep your life clear. Keep yourself right. Be honest. It's the best way to live. It's exciting, actually, being honest in a world of dishonesty and lying and stuff. Let's have a look here. Like and subscribe and share and comment on the video if you will, guys. I'd appreciate that. We're doing it for you. And also, just a reminder, we don't like mummy's boys on this channel. I've seen how much damage and trouble these people cause. See how he's in, I'm going to block you from my mother, and she's sitting in the background, get rid of her, get rid of her. This is what happens in these covert emotional incestual situations, but you don't see it on the surface. And the poor old third wheel, the partner, and you'll get the mother's got a boyfriend and this guy's giving him out. It's just, no, I'm sick of you calling me a mummy's boy. Well, don't be one, mate, and you won't get called it. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let's go again on our scripture. The godly hate lies, the wicked cause shame and disgrace. And let's just remind ourselves that the lying of these wicked people brings shame and disgrace on them. When you don't lie, you get confidence and grace. This is Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison on the Pro Bricky exclusive YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you on the next one, and bye for now.